big step for a little person. Thanks for coming back for lunch. So how many of you were here on, can you see me? How many of you were here on Monday for the ION conference? Okay, let me apologize to probably 60% of you because some of this is probably going to be a bit redundant. But for the other 40% of you, I would like to just take a step back. On Monday, we talked a lot about how to deploy things like IPv6 and DNSSEC. And today, we're just going to take a step back, and I'll tell you a little bit about the Internet Society, our specific program, Deploy360, and what we did on Monday. So ISOC is a nonprofit, cause-based, international organization. So we do work in a lot of different areas. We work in technology, policy, and development. Our mission is the internet is for everyone. So we're trying to do everything, we're trying to do everything in our power to bring the internet to the next billion people and make sure it's open and sustainable and free. And that's what this slide says. Policy, technology, and development. And you put them all together, you get the Internet Society. We were started in 1992 by Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn, kind of the fathers of the internet, if you will. We are the organizational home of the Internet Engineering Task Force. That's the standards body that writes all the IPv6 and DNSSEC and RPKI and all sorts of the underlying standards of the internet. We are, again, a membership organization. So you can see here on the screen, we've got 94 chapters, and that's growing pretty consistently. 65,000 members, 145 organizational members, 6 regional bureaus, and 18 countries with ISOC offices. Granted, some of those are one-person offices in their living rooms, but technically it's 18 offices. So talking a little bit about the technology side of the Internet Society, this is our team. You've seen the 3 rightmost people on the screen, including that guy right there. We were here this week for the ION conference. It's a small team, but I think we get a lot done. There's 2 major parts of what we do. One is the Deploy360 program. The other is best current operational practices. So I'll talk a little bit about Deploy360 first. So the challenge is that the IETF creates these standards, and then the IETF says, okay, we're done. We're going to move on to something else now. The problem is that there's nobody then to go out to the operators and say, the IETF just finalized this, now you need to do it, and here's how. So that's the gap that the Deploy360 program is trying to fill, is that we're really trying to get hands-on information into actual network operators' hands, because operators don't have a whole lot of time to go to IETF meetings and read RFCs, these really technical documents. So we're trying to sort of translate them into easily deployable forward movement and get this stuff like IPv6 and DNSSEC and routing security out into the wild. There's 4 major components. Number 1 is the web portal. All of our resources, all of our case studies, tutorials, all sorts of things. That's all online. It's all free. It's all easy and free to access. You can log on to internetsociety.org/deploy360 and get all of the hands-on information you need about all of our topics. We do a lot of social media. There's a slide on all of our channels coming up. We do a lot of speaking engagements like here and various network operator groups, and we've done CES and Interop and all sorts of things. And then ION conferences, which many of you now know about as of Monday. We do these 3 or 4 a year. We try to hit a different country, a different continent every time. This is actually the second one we've done in Canada. So this is the first time we've ever repeated a city. So that's been, thanks, Paul. So it's been really nice to see some familiar faces and have a follow-up, because we asked 2 years ago how many of you have done this. We asked again this time, and the number increased a little bit. So that's promising. That's the link to our website. We have different audiences. We try to have something for each one of those main customers, if you will. What do you need to do if you're a content provider? What do you need to do if you're a developer? These are all of our social media channels. You can also get to all of them from our website, but again, we're really big on social media, and this is, didn't mean to do that. So this is how we reach out to the community and try to figure out what you need to get this stuff done. ION conferences, 3 a year. This year we did Singapore, Krakow, and Toronto. And we don't know where we're going in 2014 yet, but watch our blog posts, watch our website, and we'll certainly let you know. This is our agenda from Monday afternoon. So you can see we're really focusing on the information you need to get this done. What is the business case for DNSSEC? How did .ca do it? We learned that .ca has 78 signed domains out of 2 million. It's not very impressive, but Sierra's working on it. We did an IPv6 deployment where we learned that Canadian IPv6 traffic is 0.33%. Also not that impressive, but I know that's part of the reason you're here this week is that you're working on it. We did an IETF update. The Internet Engineering Task Force was in Vancouver just last week, and there's a lot of work going on in things like DANE and IPv6 operations and things like that. So we did a quick update on that. Jan gave a quick update on best current operational practices that we're doing. I can't see the screen down there. And we also did a panel on routing security and resiliency and what are the problems in routing, what can go wrong, and what are the potential solutions to fix it. These are some of the speaking engagements we've done in the past. We really are an international program. We go anywhere we're invited. So if you have any speaking engagements where you think a real deployment, an operationalization talk would be helpful, let us know. The next steps for the portal, we're always adding more content. So if you have written a paper about how you deployed IPv6, if you've done a case study, why does this thing keep going? If you are interested in writing a case study with us, let us know. If it's a troubleshooting issue that you've had, chances are other people have had it too. So let us know what you need. If there's a specific question you have, we'll either have the information and we can point you in the right direction, or we'll add it to our list of things that we will add to the website eventually. So I encourage you to go to the website, click around, and let us know what you need, and contact us if there's anything that we can do to help. Our goal is to help you help the internet. So talk to us. I'll mention really quickly about best current operational practices. That's Jan, my coworker. So what we've discovered is that there's really no easy way to get all of the information about what your colleagues are doing all over the world, right? You talk in the hallways, you talk at other meetings, you talk on email lists, and if you're in Japan, you have no way of finding out what your colleagues in Canada are really doing. So we thought there's a lot of clutter out there, we really need to cut through it. Maybe what we need is a global document series of the best current operational practices worldwide. So Jan has been rolling around the planet talking to pretty much every network operator group that he can find, trying to get these regional processes started. So there's already one started here in North America through NANOG, and there's one in RIPE, and there's others underway in other regions. And then what will eventually bubble up are these global best current operational practices that everyone can use to do things right and do things in a cohesive manner. So you can talk to Jan about any questions you may have with that. And that's all I got. So I got 6 minutes left if you have any questions. Jan and I are both here. We also have Lynn and Karen, so if you could all just raise your hands. If you have any questions about the Internet Society, I can answer them now, or you can just find us for the rest of the afternoon. So and that is my speed talk to get you back on track.
I was going to say thank you, Megan. You've got us so back on track right a little bit early, so we'd happily take any questions as we drag out a minute or two. Any questions?
You told me to speed it up. I'm just saying.
Job well done. Any questions for any? Joe, comment? Certainly you have something to add.
I answered that on slide 1, Jan.
Yes, it's true. All right, thank you very much to Megan. We'll just give us a minute while we switch to our next panelist, who is, I'm sure, arriving in just a moment.